Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Let's go.
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up, cause you tuned into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, though. Positive attitudes, behavior, that's a lifelong dream goal.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, health matters and we're here to help you become the better you, to be the best you, the best version you can be.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, and it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.
Health matters to me.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jackie.
And Coach Patrick.
Guys, welcome to Health Matters live podcast this morning, where your health matters.
Every day, every hour, every minute of the day. Listen, we want you to join us every Saturday right here at 9 a.m. as we bring you relevant information pertaining to your health and wellness. We'll have healthcare professionals and other professionals on the show from time to time to assist us in helping you to be the best you that you can be as it pertains to your health and well-being.
So, guys, you already know what to do. Head over to Facebook and like Get Fit with Jackie Fitness and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Health Matters Jackie and Coach.
All right, so we're at the end of March, Jackie, and we still getting cold, 40 degree and 30-something degree weather. I don't know what's going on, but everybody that celebrated a birthday and an anniversary, we wish you a happy birthday and a happy anniversary.
Yes, and we have Felina Palmer Griffin. Her 50th birthday is this weekend.
Whoa,
Happy birthday,
big 50.
girl.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. And we getting ready to move out the 50s club.
I know. knocking on 60
knocking on 60. Yes.
And we don't claim to be 60 years old. We claim to be 60 years strong
and young and vibrant and thriving.
Yeah,
yes,
60 years strong.
Absolutely.
New 60.
Yeah, we thank God for that. We thank God for that. Hey, everybody on Facebook and that's joining us this morning, our live streaming crew out there. We thank you for joining us this morning, guys. And this truly is the day the Lord has made.
Yes, we're going to rejoice and be glad in it.
And make a conscious choice to be glad.
Right. You have to rejoice.
You have to.
The joy of the Lord is our strength.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to choose to do it. We have to make a choice to do it, because every day, we have to choose.
Right.
We are responsible for working out our salvation.
Yeah, because you need strength in every area of your life.
Absolutely.
Just to get through your daily routine.
And we can't just getting up in the morning, just giving God praise and glory, because, I was talking to Coach this morning about that. It's just we can't sustain this life as we know without God.
Can't do it.
We can't do nothing without
him.
Apart from him.
I know I've tried it, but it didn't work.
We can't do anything apart from him. We are part of who he is, and we need him. And
tripart beings.
Our deficiency is in him. Our dependency is on him. And we can't make it without him. We can't.
Spirit, soul, and body.
Absolutely.
And you got to feed each and every last one of them. You got to feed your spirit. You got to feed your soul. Your soul going to follow whatever the strong part of your body. If it's your spirit, then that's where the soul's going to fall in line with. If it's your flesh, guess what? Your soul's going to fall in line with your flesh. So be strong in your spirit. Have a relationship with Jesus Christ, all right? So that we can do all things and we can obtain that eternal life. That's the only way you get eternal life, is the relationship with Jesus Christ, accepting him as your Lord and Savior, and believing in your heart that what we're celebrating this weekend, he was raised, resurrection, on the third day. You got to believe that.
Yes. And so we are celebrating Resurrection Sunday. We are. We know, this Easter Sunday, but we represent the blood of Jesus Christ.
Definitely.
We don't take that for granted. But good morning, Jane Jameson. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We had an awesome conversation with Dr. Dan on that last podcast. Oh
Mhm.
my goodness, it was really good. Just
Very good.
recapping about the different things with food. We're wrapping up National Nutrition Month, guys. We got another lineup coming up. We're going to be talking about families, healthy community, healthy families on next month, guys. We got a lot of people we have some people lined up that's going to give you some great information, guys. It's going to be great. It's going
Gonna
to
be
be
good.
awesome,
As
guys.
always.
As always,
Yeah.
because it's all rooted in wisdom and in the word of God. So, and what
Most
he
definitely.
says. And so, yes, we are looking forward to that. Headed into the Masters coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. And you know,
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. We getting into the spring, right? It's supposed to be
And it's
nice
cold.
and warm. Time for golf, time for traveling, you know, spring break and all of those things. Let us acknowledge our sponsor, Aiken Chiropractic, Dr. Dan. When your spine is aligned, your body is too. And that's so true. Everything starts, you know, in our central nervous system, in our brains, and all of our nerves run through our spine for everything, our fingers, our hands, our feet, our toes. So it touches everything. So when your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street Northwest in Aiken, South Carolina. Their number is 803-641-9191, and their website is aikenchiropractic.com. To be a sponsor partner or friend of this broadcast, you can call 706-592-8862. And when you become a friend or partner or sponsor of this broadcast, you help us do what we do, not only on this broadcast, but what we do in the community and beyond. We provide a lot of virtual classes that address chronic diseases people may be managing and trying to prevent, and we do it free of charge. So you help us to do that when you sponsor a partner or be a friend of this broadcast. All right.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Coach. That was awesome. That
Yes,
was
most
awesome. And that's
definitely.
it. That's our manner. That's our platform. We are bridging the gap from our healthcare professionals that we are networked with and that we connect with to bring this information and the resources to our community.
Most definitely.
And so that's good. And we have a third cohort we doing, partnering with AU, Augusta University, research on the diabetes to prevent diabetes in mother gestational decreased diabetes in gestation diabetes in mothers to be, and just prevent type 2 diabetes in women. So, guys, we ain't forgot about you. You know, Coach got some things brewing up. God is stirring up in him. So, guys, we ain't forgot about our man. So, guys, you know what that tune is. That's our Health Matters Happening tune. And that's when we take a moment and a time to bring you relevant information that pertain to your health and well-being.
All right. So our health matters happening this morning is about travel health notices, where you can always go up to the cdc.gov's website. And if you're traveling, you know, overseas or traveling to different places around the U.S., then you can go up to cdc.gov and click on travel health notices, and it'll give you some information on what's going on in the different areas that you may be traveling in. The CDC uses the travel health notices to inform travelers about global health risks during outbreaks, special events or gatherings, and natural disasters, and to provide advice about protective actions travelers can take to prevent infection or adverse health effects. A travel health notice can be posted for a disease breakout, a higher number of expected cases in a country or region. It can be posted for sporadic cases of a disease in an unusual or new geographic location. They can be posted for natural or human-made disasters with severe environmental health risks or infrastructure damage that would limit healthcare services available. And it also can be posted for mass gathering events that can lead to disease and outbreaks. This has been your Health Matters Happenings.
All right. And coach, and on that note, we just want to pray for the city of Maryland,
Most
Baltimore.
definitely.
They had a tragic accident this week. The Francis Scott Bridge came down, and a few people lost their lives and in that accident. So we want to lift those families up and thank God that the driver did notify them enough time to stop traffic, but unfortunately some of them was already
On that bridge.
on that bridge, and so they was able to save a few, but some of them they wasn't able.
Yeah.
So that's a main artery for
Yeah.
things to come through. So we want to pray for the Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, that area,
I mean, that tri-state area, because it's affecting Virginia, DC, and
Yes,
it's a
the
trickle-down
whole
effect.
metro
Yeah,
area
that will probably affect us because of the ships not able to, use
transport.
that transport
Right.
water to get the things that they need to get to different areas to be shipped to different areas. So there's a trickle-down effect for that. So like, it's important to keep them in prayer and just know that even though it's in that tri-state area, Virginia, DC, Maryland, it still could affect you. You can see it affecting the things that we go to the store to buy. So let's just keep that in prayer. Most
Yes, and
definitely.
those that have a lot of prayer requests this week, that people just going through some things, surgeries, and families, and different type of ailments. We just
Mhm.
want to lift them up and just pray for their healing, pray for their wholeness in Jesus' name. So,
Most definitely. We had
um,
an awesome Good Friday service
oh, we
last
did.
night.
It
Yeah.
was it was
Healing took
incredible.
place in
I
the
think we could
building.
have stayed there all night.
Oh
I
yeah.
really,
Most
really,
definitely.
really, it's
Yeah.
coming though.
Yeah. Healing
It's
took
coming.
place.
Yes,
Most definitely.
it really did. So
So thank you to our pastor that's always on point, that's
yes,
always in his set place
always in tune.
to do, what God has called him to do, and that's to bring restoration in every area of your life. Thanks, Dr. Mitchell, Pastor Benita. Thank you guys so much for just being,
Yeah,
committed to what God has given you to do.
and
You do it
listening
well,
to God, and
most definitely.
yes, yes.
So Jackie, let's
Let's
talk
get into
about
it.
this good nutrition for the last, day of this month.
Yes. Well, we
Good
always talk about
nutrition. Yeah, we
nutrition, but
always talking about it, but yeah,
yeah.
we on point talking about good nutrition and what's the best diet, because people
Yes,
always
always
want to
saying, well,
know
and that is
what's the
one
best diet.
of the most um, talked about subject when it comes to uh, nutrition and fitness and all of these things. And what Coach and I endeavor is, a desire is, and our method is different, unique. It is nothing that anyone else may be doing, but it is to help to shift minds
Mhm.
away from the trends and fads of
That's
the
right.
diet and fitness culture,
Most definitely.
and to
Most
help
definitely.
you to transform your mind for better health.
That's what it's about.
And that's what it's about. That's
Mm.
what it's about.
And it's different for everybody.
Exactly. And it's not about all these regulations and these rules.
Mhm.
And we can get that when we got so many influencers with the social media feed, and the scrolling, and we see everybody, and they providing all this information. We don't know what kind of credentials these people hold, but we look at all of this and we like, okay, I want to look like that, or I can do that. And that's not reality.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of that is just what it is, taking nothing from anybody, to each his own. But let's be real, there's no perfect diet.
Yeah. And that's it, Jackie. This we can end the subject right here. We can end
That's
it right
it.
there. There's no perfect diet. There's no best diet because we are all different. And there are factors that play a part in what we eat, how we eat, and when we eat. So there's no one diet that works for everyone. So that's the answer to that question.
Yeah.
There is no best diet,
But
and
finding what
works
works for
for
you,
you.
and that works, that's different.
Right. For everybody.
We all looking for
Right.
the healthier way to eat.
S-
And these days, it's hard,
mhm. Challenging, yeah.
challenging to sustain,
Mhm.
because of the way food is being processed and
And you just said it. Even when you're trying to eat
eat
well, you
well,
have to be careful because
careful.
of the way food is being,
Come on,
produced.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like what Dr. Dan said last week. We should be eating as close from the ground as possible. That's how God designed it to
Picked
be.
or plucked.
So that means if we possibly can grow our own fruits, our own garden, do it. But if you can't, there are people, local farmers, that are still growing vegetables and fruit. Support your local farmers.
Mhm.
Eat local. Buy local, because it's coming from the what? Farm to the table.
Yeah.
It's not going to any
Less
stores.
processed.
Less processed.
From the farm to the table.
The more it goes to the store, more it get processed, all the nutrients and everything begin to deplete as it get processed. The more it get processed, the less nutrients you're having.
Most definitely.
So what is the best diet?
Right.
It's the one that works.
The one that works for you.
And that changes, Coach.
For everybody, yeah. And you even if you have underlying conditions, but we'll talk about some factors. Here's the thing though, it's about just regaining that control. Don't allow your flesh to control. You got to have discipline and care, about what you eat. And you have to make thoughtful or mindful choices. And that's what's going to help you eat better. I like how Jackie talked sometimes about putting that pause or putting that space before the taste. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're eating. Ask yourself some questions. Are you really hungry, or are you just eating this because it's there, because you see it? And that's what plays a part into what we eat. We see it on television, on the commercials. We see it on the billboard. And so that causes that flesh to want it. And instead of you regaining that control and having the strength in a certain area, then you indulge in those things, and and that's not always good for you.
And let's go back to the rules and regulation. Putting so much restrictions, rules, regulation, and restrictions. Don't put all of that on yourself. You become so overwhelmed because now I'm doing things that is not sustainable. They may be temporarily. So, and it's nothing that is realistic. I really can't sustain this. I can't sustain a meal replacement diet for the rest of my life. I can't maintain a paleo or a keto. Everybody is different, and it depends on your health, and what your body can sustain. That is what you have to look at. And like I said, it's going to be different. It's going to fluctuate.
Right. And you
As
mentioned,
as you age, it's going to change because your body changed.
right. And you mentioned two diets, though. I just want to interject real quick. Hold your thought real quick. The paleo and the keto. And a lot of times those diets like that are given to people with underlying conditions for specific
it
reasons.
was designed to help people with certain underlying condition, but it became a part of the diet culture.
Right.
And what I was saying was, we have to find that balance. We have to be flexible. We have to have self-control. And like I said, today we have more ingredients that is not natural ingredients in our foods that we didn't normally have.
That's good.
And so, and when they say natural ingredients, you're being misled by your food labels. If you're not reading your food labels and looking at all these chemicals in your foods, because they betting that you're not going to read the fine lines and the little, just looking at the calories and not counting the chemicals and the fillers and all these things that are in your food. And we're not here to tell you what to eat and how to eat. We're just merely bringing awareness, and you putting this stuff into practice, learning to read your food labels. Try to eat as local as possible. Do the best that you can do. That's it. And God got the rest, but you got to practice self-control. And that's one fruit of the spirit.
Right.
You got to practice self-control in these areas. That doesn't mean you're taking things away that you like to enjoy. And they like to, in the in the industry, they like to call it the red light, green light, yellow light. Red light things you have to avoid, maybe because those things can wreak havoc on your digestive system, or you may be allergic. Green light foods is a go. These foods make me feel well. It gives me the nutrients that I need and the energy that I need. I sleep well. I'm having a steady bowel movement. Don't want to be gross, but that's what it is. And then you have your yellow foods, kind of for in between, I like to enjoy this.
Moderation,
You
portion
know, that
control.
proportion, and that's different for everybody. You got to know what
Oh yeah,
moderation is
most
or
definitely.
what portion control is. And sometimes we're eating a little bit too much than what we should eat, or we may not be eating enough. But I know for me personally now, as I begin to age, I begin to realize I was just really eating too much. I was still trying to eat the way that I used to eat when I was more active. My metabolism was a little bit, you know, healthier. I ain't
Hmm.
gonna say unhealthy, but a little bit faster.
Faster. Hmm.
But now that it has slowed down, my body need as less energy.
Responds differently.
It responds a little bit different because I'm like, okay, let me research this. Our digestive system kind of softens a little bit, so it takes things a little bit longer for it to digest.
Yeah.
So now you just kind of got to be intuitive, be mindful,
Hmm.
okay? You may not be able to snack all between your meals. You may have to put some space there. Remember when you can eat a meal, then go about an hour later and eat this? I found that I can't. I have to really, really watch.
Hmm.
So I pay attention to my body and I begin to recognize my full cues and my hunger cues.
That's a good point.
Knowing when I'm hungry, I know I'm hungry. And sometimes that hunger could just be thirst.
Yeah.
Sometimes the hunger you wanted something may just be a craving. And that's
Yeah.
a difference between craving and hunger.
Yeah, it's good points, Jackie. Good
Yeah.
points that you make. And here's the thing, you can go back and check out our podcast, but we talked about good nutrition and what, nutrient dense foods are and what overly processed foods are. So when we're thinking about good nutrition, when we're thinking about what works for us, what works for our diet, yeah, there's some things that you have to do naturally. But now, if you need a dietitian to get involved in helping you create a diet, then that's what you do. But just know this: you have a responsibility because you know what you eat and how it makes you feel, and you have to pay attention to those things. No effective diet plan asks you to eat more processed food. If it's going to be effective, it's not going to tell you to eat more processed food. Nutrient depleted food uh, is overly processed food. But what a good diet is going to recommend is that you eating whole, minimal processed, nutrient rich foods. So eating better quality food is what's going to improve your health. And it will improve it significantly. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. The body is amazing when you start treating it right and feeding it right and letting it be active. It will take care of a lot of things that's happening in your body.
Amen.
Yeah.
And it does. And I like even what Dr. Dan said, God has given us everything inside of us to heal, to sustain what we need to sustain this
Hmm.
body,
Hmm.
this vessel on this earth.
That's right.
But when we're putting things in there that is not, that doesn't bring value to it,
Hmm.
now we risk the chance of opening ourselves up for all these free radicals and other things. That's why it's
Right.
important to read your food labels.
Right. And then
Yeah.
your body get into a alkalinic state, and that's where cancer lives and breeds. So
Excited,
yeah, so acidic,
excited,
right? So
excited. Yeah.
acidic. I'm sorry. Thank you, Jackie. But so you have to be careful of those things. You want your body to be where cancer can't grow in it. And that depends on what we're feeding it and what how healthy our immune system is.
Keeping your pH balance,
Right.
like I said, things change.
Right.
Our body types and how we carry weight, and our body looks a little bit different as we age.
Yes, it
It really
does.
does. So that
Embrace it.
150 pounds don't
Embrace it.
look the same as it did when you was in your 30s or 40. Now you're 50s, 60s. It looks a little bit different.
Hmm.
So it's understanding your body and the changes. And so many times we leave God out of this equation. And God said, acknowledge me in all things. In all things, acknowledge me.
Acknowledge him.
He will help you.
He'll give
He
you the
will give
strength.
you the instructions, the wisdom to show you how to put things together. When you seek him and you listen to him and his voice, he will show you things that, okay, kind of tap you on the shoulder, pull away from that a little bit, slow down on that a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with Easter tomorrow. People go out to eat and they enjoy food. Food is cultural. It's all about families, relationship. Food is a relationship.
Right.
And just like any other relationship, you have to build a healthy relationship with people. You have to build a healthy relationship with food.
That's right.
So you have to ask yourself, are you in control or the food is in control? It's all about getting back in control and taking
That's
back
right.
and owning your health. And
That's a good point you make. Can I interject on that?
yes, please.
Because if you allow relationships, just think about people relationships. If you allow a person to control you where you're always the person that's being controlled, that's always giving, that can stress you out, right? And cause things to happen in your body. Just like Jack always say, think about food, your relationship with food. If you're allowing food to control you and you're allowing the overly processed food to control what you put in your mouth versus you're
just
controlling,
food, period.
a food period, right? Because you can overdo anything. You can overdo the good foods. So you have to control those things, because if not, then it's going to stress your internal body out and start causing some issues within your body, depleting your immune system and depleting organs and things like that. That is not good for some of these processed foods. Like Jackie say, we're so distracted by counting calories, we forget a lot of these food are laced with chemicals now that we need to pay attention to and be careful on how much of that stuff is getting in our bodies. But now we open up the show by saying that there is no best diet. And there is no best diet because there are factors that influence our diets and our eating habits. There are factors. One of the factors is age. We've been talking about it a little bit. As we age, our metabolism changes. It slows down our tolerance, for food, and our appetites. It changes. And our digestive system changes as we age. So we have to take that factor into consideration. And that's why I say it's so important for you to pay attention to how your body is reacting to certain foods, how your body is responding to certain foods. That's probably a certain food that you used to eat all the time when you were younger, but now your body can't tolerate shellfish or crabs or shrimp or whatever. And you used to eat that stuff all the time, but now there's a negative response when you eat that stuff. So you have to stop eating it. You have to know sometimes the food that you're eating, it may just give you a stomach ache. Sometimes it may just bloat you or give you gas. Those things are not good also, and you need to pay attention to them.
And not over time, because you stress out your esophagus with eating things that can cause GERD, which is that reflux. Reflux can eventually, turn into GERD. It's a little bit more worse than acid reflux. So we have to pay attention to the signs and cues of our body. So when the coach said the best diet, it's the best diet for you.
That's
It,
right.
it what works for you.
What works for
And
you.
that changes. That means as I age, I will have to make adjustments. I will have to make changes. I might have to kind of, tweak some things a little bit and keep moving. Can I enjoy, some of the things that I like to enjoy? Yes, you should. That's called balance.
Most definitely.
It's called balance. But you got to know when to get that body back. The body will let you know when it's getting out of sync, when it had too much of anything.
That's right.
That's just like scrolling on Facebook when your eyes like, you need to come off this. You need to get up off this social media scrolling.
So that's enough.
Get yourself back in sync. Get yourself back into line. Get yourself back in order. And that's the same with food. It is a relationship. It's cultural. We eat around food. We gather around
That's
food.
right.
We
And
do all these things
another
around
Another
food.
factor, ethnic background.
It's just
Right.
it's what we do. Everybody got a story when it comes to food. You sit around the table. Mama cooked this. We did this and we did that.
That's it.
It is.
And that's the way you're brought up. People live and come from different environments and communities.
But we have to have control of it.
That's it.
Self-control. You
Most
got to conquer this flesh.
putting this flesh under, bringing it under subjection.
Most definitely.
You have to. It's have to. And so take away the rules, restriction, and regulation. And you got so many people out there. And remember, when you got influencers, you got them. They are selling a product. they are out there selling a product, or we look at them and you say, oh, I want to know, they're selling a product, and you have to know that. And a lot of that stuff is temporarily. It's not sustainable. If it's something that I cannot do the rest of my life, throughout each stage of my life, if I'm not able to make adjustments, if I'm not able to be flexible, I want to enjoy what I eat. I should, but I'm gonna be mindful. Okay, I had me a piece of cake today. I think I'm gonna lay off this right now. I had a couple of pieces of cake. Today I'm gonna eat Sunday, so I'm gonna get myself right back in line, and right back in sync, right back in balance during the week. But and the most important thing, keep moving. Don't stop moving. You have to move. And people don't want to hear the word exercise, because they look at exercise as a chore, and a lot of us don't want to do chores. We don't want to wash dishes. We don't want to wash our clothes. No, but you got to move. I tell people exercise is a choice, but moving is mandatory.
It's mandatory.
Try to sit all day for a whole week and don't do nothing and see how your body feels.
It won't be good. But listen, some other fact. Go ahead.
I'm done.
Yeah, some other factors: body type, body composition, fitness levels. All of these things are factors in creating our diet. Our body type. Some people are tall, some people are slim, some people are short, some people are stocky.
We are unique, guys.
And then everybody else is somewhere in between. You may see somebody, they eat just like I eat, but they ain't growing, they ain't gaining weight, because our body types are different. Doesn't mean there's not anything taking place on the inside now. Just because you're seeing that they're not gaining weight and getting pudgy or whatever, but those chemicals in that food still breaks down our internal organs, and it still affects our internal organs and our immune system, just like it affects yours. But because of our body type, because of our body composition, some people are strong and lean. Some people are frail, without a lot of muscles. So all of those things play a part in how our body respond in food, break it down, and all of these things. And Jackie just said it, even our fitness level. Some people live a sedentary lifestyle all their life. They don't move a whole lot. So yeah, food is going to affect them differently, because you're not burning a lot of calories. You're not burning a lot of energy. People usually, though, start thinking about their physical activity when they start paying attention to what they're eating, because those two variables are very important. You can't do one without the other. You have to be physically active, and you have to be mindful of your diet.
Yes, and you have food, and people have food preference.
Yeah.
Things you like to enjoy. Look at what you like to enjoy. Some of the things that we eat, your only thing you have to do is just prepare it differently. It could just be preparing it a little bit different. Baked fish instead of fried fish. Baked chicken instead of
fried. Yeah.
Try to kind of not prefer a more of a plant base. You just have natural vegans. Some people are just natural vegans. They are literally people that just was born like that.
And try not to eat meat with every meal, or eat meat every day. Try not to do
There's other source of protein. So try to make at least part of your meals plant-based. But make sure it's a quality protein that you're getting. Your legumes, you get that. You have a lot of plant-based proteins that you can pull on. Some people require, you heard the word require, supplement. As you age, some things your body stop making. A lot of people get deficient. And that, let me go back a little bit. And that plays a role of you restricting yourself from stuff that affects your metabolism. It breaks down and slows down your metabolism. And it also can cause deficiency in some areas. So be careful when you're doing that. But we have to know our body, what we can eat, what we cannot eat, what we can eat some of the time, but just being mindful.
Right, there you go.
And just intuitive. Intuitive is pretty much similar to mindful. You just paying attention to what you eat, but intuitive, just pay attention to your hunger cues and your full cues. Now that can be different as you age when hormones, especially in women, when our hormones start fluctuating, Those two are called leptin and ghrelin. Those are your fuel cues and your hunger cues. And they can kind of get interrupted once we lose estrogen and progesterone. So you really, really have to pay attention to your body and eating till you're satisfied, not until you're full and bloated.
That's good. That's good. And when
Yeah.
you eat slower and take your time and eat and taste your food,
Slowly.
your
That's good.
body,
Yeah, that's
your mind connects to your digestive system, and it lets you know that okay, we've had enough. If you move past this point, you're gonna get to that bloated point,
yeah.
And sometimes we eat so fast that our mind and body is not making that connection, so that it's telling you, okay, you've had enough. You get to that point where when you've already overeating, then your mind catches up with what's going on, and now you're bloated and you're full and you're not feeling good. Another thing to do is just to increase your knowledge as it pertains to nutrition. Increase your knowledge. There's many
Not everywhere.
creditable
Yeah.
creditable sources, on the internet, on the web, that you can go and visit. Go to credible sources and just increase your knowledge. The more you know, the better you'll do in this area. Some other factors of your diet is your budget. People's financial statuses are different, and it could be a little bit more expensive to eat better. But that's when you have to just think about how you can eat or prepare what you're doing already a little bit better. And then time, especially people with work
Yes.
schedules and different schedules like
Great
that.
yard
A
shifts.
lot of people,
Um,
everybody has a busy daily schedule, and priorities conflict and things like that. But again, that goes back to that control. You have to look at your schedule and do what you need to do in order to if you have to prepare, if you're eating a lot of unhealthy lunches, then you have to look at where you can gain that time to prepare beforehand healthier lunches or healthier snacks that you can have at work during the workday.
and also, guys, I want to just watch your sugar intake, your added sugars, and your sugars. Period, because sugar is sugar. Sugar begets sugar begets sugar begets sugar begets sugar, and those things. A lot of these things have a lot of high fructose in it. And when we're consistently doing this on a consistent basis, because it's what we do consistently,
Hmm.
not what we do occasionally.
Right.
It's what we're doing consistently. And if we get over processed food and ultra processed food and added sugars and a lot of sugars in our diet, that part of the brain that tells you I have had enough kind of gets shut down.
Right.
And so before you know it, you didn't went in the kitchen and had 2 and 3 pieces of slices of cake, and just imagine all the all of that. You
Right.
got to just kind of factor that in your body and what your body is trying to take in. And when your digestive system gets so acidic, it begins to get inflammation.
Hmm.
And when your body get full of inflammation, it's hard for the body to receive the nutrients. And I want to say, because if we give our body more of non-nutritional food versus nutritional dense food, we're not reaping the benefits of the nutrients food. And let me give you an example. We'll sit here and we'll eat fast food, mostly ultra processed food throughout the day. And then one day of the week, oh, I'm going to eat a salad. I'm going to eat some beans. I'm going to drink water. Well, because you're more consistent eating ultra processed food, your body is not really reaping the benefit of the healthier things.
That's good.
So, guys, you got to really have a balance there.
Hmm.
You have to really take a look and say, okay, let me look at my diet. Let me and just see what's going on. And a lot of time, God is kind of tapping on your shoulder a little bit and says, just watch some things and what you're eating, and like our scripture that we close with, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul. And and we have to understand that food affects our mood.
Mm.
It really does.
Yeah.
Chemicals that is in food, that stuff affects our mood. It affects our body. It affects our body chemical and our body. And if you just, we take 90 days just to get ourselves back into line, our cells begin to renew itself. This is a wonderful, unique thing God has given us. He's given us everything inside of us to to sustain here,
Mm-hmm.
to finish out our course
That's
in our
right.
destiny. But if we're not listening and we're not tuned in and listening, okay, you can break this thing down quicker than what it should. I'm being real. I'm being real. Practical wisdom, but spiritual truths. You have to understand that. So it's nothing wrong. And it's not taking nothing away.
Mm-hmm.
It's just making you aware, God,
Right.
I really, really need to drink more water.
Right.
And
So-
you even have to watch those days. And I tell God, I said, we gotta eat. We gotta drink, but make
water.
sure
Yeah.
we are drinking more water versus more sugary drinks, because we can use up most of our meals with non-nutritional foods.
Most definitely. And here's the thing, Jackie said something that I just don't want to braze over real quick. She mentioned about how that portion of the brain, there's a portion of the brain that shuts down when we're eating that ultra processed food, sweets and things like that, that portion of the brain that tells you that's enough, that cuts off. It actually cuts off. And you don't even realize that you're just constantly eating this ultra processed foods or these sweets, because that
Self-control.
switch has flipped that says that's enough, stop, because that's what it does. That's what that type of food does to your brain. As I say, your brain and your body, it functions together when you're eating, when you're putting stuff in your mouth. And there's a purpose for that, to tell you, okay, stop, that's enough. But the sweets and things like that actually flips that switch to off. Like you go into a
And it's
room
speaking to
and
you.
turn a light switch on
Yeah.
and off,
And
it
it's
turns
telling
it
you,
off.
and it speaks to you. We're just not
That's-
listening.
yeah,
That's why you have to be tuned in
Self-control, you
to
gotta
what's
have
going
it.
on
Yeah, you gotta have
in your body, and you really recognize it as you age. Your body, you I know
you
I
gotta,
do.
you gotta be able to put yourself in time out.
Yes, yeah.
Say that's enough. I love eating certain type of foods.
You
but
enjoy. I don't like to say love, but just enjoy.
I love. That's that relationship with food. In relationships, you enjoy being around some people. In
Yeah.
relationships, you love being around some people. With food, you enjoy certain foods.
But it ain't
and with-
enjoy you.
and with some foods, you love it. But those foods don't love you
You
back
back.
if it's not good.
Because
for
you're
you,
getting a
right?
negative
Most definitely.
reaction. I ain't gonna say respond. You
Yeah.
giving a negative get
Reaction.
from it.
And you know it. You know
Exactly.
it when you're eating it. So you have to be careful with
And
that.
so, guys, this is all about finding your
no
fit.
restrictions. and
Finding
things.
your fit and what works for you.
Most definitely. Don't
And
don't
that,
beat
and that
yourself up.
comes with you, doing different things, different methods, all about transforming your mind,
Most definitely.
and what you're doing, consistency. But don't get in guilt and shame. Show yourself grace. But as long as you are making a conscious effort,
That's right.
don't
you work
allow
on that.
yourself to get caught up in the trends and fads of this diet culture.
Right.
And this trends and all of these, because it's going a whole nother direction.
That's right.
And
And
we have to trust God. We have to
That's it.
trust
trust God.
God.
Trust God. And here's the thing: if your doctor puts you on certain diets, then make sure you follow those. It's just like a prescription drug. If the doctor tells you to do something, a dietitian tells you to do something, then you follow those instructions. All
Yeah.
right.
And you have some doctors, they do
Most
and
definitely.
tell you if you can just, change these behaviors.
That's it.
And that's the hardest thing to do. I know we
It
have
is.
to go, but
It
that's the hardest thing to do. That's why our dependency is in Him. And you've been trying to do it on your own, but God said you need me.
Most
You
definitely.
need God to help you with this.
All right.
He can help you with this. You need Him. Stop trying to do this on your own script and your own
acknowledge.
will, and acknowledge Him in this way and let Him direct your path.
Right. And it's not about putting rules and restrictions on yourself. It's about taking back control, being disciplined, and doing the things you need to
And
do.
owning your health.
Right. So the body adapts amazingly. Just know that to many different ways of eating, it adapts. So don't limit yourself to a specific diet plan that may work for someone else. It's no canned diet. It's worked for Susie, it'll work for Jimmy. No, don't think that just because it worked for someone else, it'll work for you. Try different things. that could work, test new methods. It's about lifestyle change. Be open-minded, and it's okay to be wrong. Okay, now that's not working for me. Okay, so you
Change it up,
change
switch
it
it
up,
up.
and you do something else. Guys, listen, we've gotten to that time. We can keep going on and on and on. But listen, we want you to enjoy your Saturday. Easter Resurrection Day is tomorrow. I know you guys going to be looking good at church, and going to enjoy family time.
Good Lord.
And but just know that it's all about just celebrating, the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ and what he done for us. We want to thank you for listening to Help Matters right here every Saturday at 9 a.m. We want you to like our Facebook page at Get Fit with Jackie Fitness and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Help Matters, Jackie and Coach. And make sure you hit the like button, always subscribe, and always share.
Okay, guys, remember, we're here to help you to become a better you, to be the best you that you can be. We like to leave you with 3 John 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, you have a healthy and blessed day.
Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Yeah, let's go.
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up. Cause you tune into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual need.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, no positive attitudes, behavior, that's a lifelong dream.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, health matters and we're here to help you become the better you, to be the best you, the best version you can be.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, and it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.
Health matters to me.